You recording now? Back underway in the second half at Firhill, and Dundee 1 goal up. Colin McMenamin. And Dundee halfway to their first win at Firhill in 5 years. It also breaks the deadlock between these two sides. 2 matches, 3 hours of football before this in the first division. No goals. It's 1-0 now. Ephraim wins the ball. Low ball through to Antoine Courier, and Dundee on the attack already. Courier, chip ball, and Ephraim's going in at the far post. Headed away by Robertson. Now Payton completes the job. Ephraim though scouring back to win the ball again. And Dundee putting Thistle under pressure already. Then Malone back out to McHale, and that ball's going to come through to Courier, just a bit too strong in the end there for Antoine Courier. Tuffy have time, beaten in the first half, and Thistle's poor home record continues for the moment anyway. Shinnie just going down for a challenge there from Rowson, but he's okay now. Shinnie goes down again, and the ref just waves him to get up, and Shinnie just having a word with the referee as he passes back. Atkins back out to Harkins. 3 Dundee players around him here, and Harkins just knocks it a bit too far ahead of himself, and Cowan knocks that one out of play. Atkins, and Shinnie fires that one away in the rain. It's been coming all the way down through half time, and it's still continuing to come down, and this Firhill pitch that takes a beating every week, well, every other week from the Glasgow Warriors. It's taken a beating again today, this time from a natural element. Fire down, and here's Gary Harkins, steps inside Payton. So Harkins still going, good play by Gary Harkins, Thistle top goal scorer, and now Rowson. Twaddle making the run outside. Cowan just goes over to close the angle down, and Cowan still battling, someone's lost a boot there on the far side. Now Rowson, and Twaddle continuing to go. Twaddle now. Long throw, and Atkins has to stoop low to nod it away. Police for a penalty, not given, and Twaddle with a overhead cross, and Malone keeps it in for Payton to collect. On the far side in front of the tunnel, steps away and lays it back to Story. Stinging cross in, and Lachlan heads it away, and now Payton can fire the ball out to Ephraim, who's making the run forward, but it's just a bit too strong for the young Cypriots. Couldn't get in the end of it, and Thistle can regroup from the back. Thrown forward, Ephraim clears it away. Payton back to Robertson. Left-footed Robertson, and has helped on. Shinnie this time up into the air, and now Rowson can pull it down. Shinnie though, he's won it back. Steps past Rowson, and Andrew Shinnie still going. And he's got Courier up with him, Andrew Shinnie, and Archibald knocks it away. Don't think he was too sure where he was knocking it away to though, but he gets lucky. Mark Twaddle comes away with it. McMenamin tracking back now with Mark Twaddle. Trick ball forward, and Ephraim and Mackenzie and Lachlan getting themselves a bit in a tangle, going for the same ball there. Courier couldn't get in the end of that ball from Malone. Now Twaddle running at David Cowan. Little ball inside, and Gary Harkins almost profits. In fact, Gary Harkins still going, and in the end, low through ball there from Gary Harkins. Didn't find anyone apart from the arms of Robert Douglas. Now Ephraim charging over the halfway line here. Georgios Ephraim still going, steps past Robertson, and Ephraim in the end goes over the back of John Robertson, and Ephraim doesn't win the free kick, and play continues on. Mark Twaddle, low ball, and Mark Twaddle's not finding a Doolan with that ball, and Mackenzie can get it away. Colin McMenamin goes down from the challenge there of Alan Archibald, the former United man, sticks his foot in well. And Peyton puts his foot through that ball and clears it away. And the referee just going over to have a word with Georgios Ephraim, just accusing him of diving there as he went over the challenge from John Robertson a minute ago. And Georgios Ephraim goes in the book. And Archibald throws the ball back to his keeper, John Tuffy. Knocked forward, and Peyton now with a low ball through to Cowan. Chip forward there by David Cowan, and the ball maybe just hitting the wind there and drifting out of play on this near side. And Archibald having to go into the stand to retrieve it. Thrown forward by Twaddle. Now Harkins having Shinnie pulling at a shirt, but the referee is letting Gary Harkins continue. And now Story. Chip ball forward, and the ball just getting held up in the wind there, and Loughlin can nod the ball out of play. And Eric Payton a bit eager going into the challenge there with Simon Story, and Partick Thistle come away with it, and Thistle win the first corner of this second half at Firhill. And Thistle will push forward Alan Archibald, former United man. Bit of a Partick Thistle cult hero though. And that ball almost comes through to Atkins, and he doesn't quite get his full head behind the ball there, Lucas Atkins, yet to score for Thistle, and he's not going to score with an attempt like that. Not troubling Robert Douglas. And Thistle just making a change there early on in this first half. It's Paul Payton, the man who's coming off, been full of running in that first half and hasn't really had the chance to show much in the second half, mainly because we've only played 6-7 minutes. And Kevin McKinley, former Chelsea youth player, is coming on. Kelton just knocks that ball into play, and McKinley can get his first touch. Comes back to him. Low ball into the box, Lucas Atkins, and now McEwen dances past Gary McKenzie, and McKenzie did just enough to get a foot in it. Doolan picks it up in the corner. Now McKinley, time to pick a cross here, but he takes a bad second touch there, McKinley, and is cleared away. Rowson helps it on, comes all the way through, and Eric Payton's been penalised for his challenge there on David Rowson, maybe just going in a bit too strong there, Eric Payton. Well, referee David Summers thinks so. Story runs away, and Archibald thinking about a quick free kick out to Simon Story, doesn't take it, and he's aiming it at Lucas Atkins at our far post, and Lucas Atkins again with a poor header from the man on loan from Acke's. And nothing comes of the Acke's set piece again. And the man who started off so brightly in this match, Lucas Atkins, full of running, he's just maybe faded out of the game a bit. Still loads of time to go though in the second v third clash in the first division. Douglas with a bit of a poor goal kick, maybe just miss-hitting it, and McEwen forced out to the right hand side. Harkins and Atkins going with him. Here is Gary Harkins looking to find some space. McHale's not going to be giving him any space though, and it's forced out. Now Rowson shows Payton the wrong way, and Rowson still continuing his run and looks for Kevin McKinley, but the ball just doesn't come through to the substitute, and Dundee can just get a foot in the ball and try and slow the play down a bit more. Low ball in to the feet of McMenamin, getting forced backwards though by John Robertson. And Archibald and Payton and McMenamin went in there on McKinley, didn't give him the chance to pick the pass. Rowson now, and a poor pass again, and Thistle just maybe should be taking the time more with these passes, trying to string a few together because it's getting a bit scrappy from them at the moment. A couple of poor passes and they're not getting the attacking opportunities. Courier running into the corner and John Robertson sliding in well there. Wins the ball off Mikael Courier's feet. And Dundee can push right the way up the pitch here for this throw in. Cowan looking for some options here from the throw in. No one's going to give them to him here. Shinnie lets the ball drift across him. And now Payton comes back to McHale. Right footed cross comes off the back of Stephen McEwen. And McMenamin running in the back of McEwen though, and he's won it back. Now Ephraim. Story going down to close it down. Ephraim still going though, twisting and turning. Gets away from Story though, but the cross in from Ephraim was poor, and the ball comes all the way through to Kevin McKinley, and a poor pass there from Kevin McKinley, and McHale just time to pick the pass. Payton, low ball into the feet of Courier, hold of Archibald. Now Payton looking for space here, Eric Payton, and he's gone to Eddie Malone. Now Ephraim on a yellow card of course for a bit of simulation according to the referee. He's got a back off Shinnie, and Ephraim will go for goal. Just a bit too high there from Georgios Ephraim. Eager to test John Tuffy. He's not going to do it like that. And Thistle can get the chance again to get possession back, but they've not done a good job of keeping possession in this second half. They need to be taking the time over possession, being a bit more careful, because they're being quite careless at the moment. Cowan nodded on, and the ball might just come through here to Colin McMenamin, and in the end McMenamin's done enough to win the throw in off Mark Twaddle. Mark Twaddle's having a word with the linesman, but linesman's not going to change his mind, and Robertson can fire it away. Payton now, little trick to get inside David Rowson. Now Cowan chips the ball into Courier, but is blocked away by Twaddle. Now Rowson and Harkins tries a little trick again, and then dances away from Paul McHale. Gary Harkins running the show for Partick Thistle at the moment. Now Atkins, back to Harkins, and he went through late there on Eric Payton, and Payton was screaming at the referee for a free kick, but the referees let that one go. Rowson now, right footed, aiming at Atkins, nodded away by Mackenzie, and Mackenzie has been confident at the back all the way through this match. And now Ephraim gets a chance to run at Simon Stories. The boos ring out for him from the Thistle support, but Ephraim, he's still going. And now Malone comes up on the outside, and Eddie Malone with a poor ball might just clear the stands. And in the end, Eddie Malone's blushes are saved as the ball just dips below the stands. And John Tuffy's in with the Dundee fans there briefly to retrieve the ball. And yet to be tested, John Tuffy in this second half. Lachlan and Douglas have to hurry up there. Doolan running in on him, but getting it away. Robertson nods it on, and Payton can come forward. Chip ball looking for McMenamin to run onto it. He's jumping with Alan Archibald, and Colin McMenamin might just get away here. Chip right away back across the face, but nobody's there, and Courier in the end fires it in. And John Tuffy, he was all over the place there from there. Wasn't sure whether to come for it or not. And in the end, Partick Thistle maybe just getting away with it. Atkins lets the ball run by David Cowan, and Atkins still continuing his run, but Cowan shows him the line, knocks him out of play. Twaddle spins away from McMenamin. Now Archibald. And Mackenzie gets it away and is fired up forward by Paul McHale, but Courier couldn't get in the end of it. Ephraim diving in, wins the ball, and Ephraim works it back out to Antoine Courier, and Courier running with Story, steps inside Antoine Courier, but the ball comes off Simon Story, and Dundee do just enough to win the corner kick. And Andrew Shinney is making his way over to take the corner kick. Eddie Malone and Jim Laughlin just arriving in the box just now. Gary McKenzie as well, making his way up there. And it's going to be Shinney with the delivery, and it's come to Eric Payton, and the ball drifts wide of the near post. And John Tuffy wouldn't have got there if it was on target. And Eric Payton comes so very close to his 5th goal of the season and making it 2-0 Dundee. Atkins knocks it on, but Doolan can't get in the end of it, and Payton can clear it away. Now Ephraim looking for the run of Courier, and Courier's running down the middle here with Alan Archibald. Courier might just have the strength, but Tuffy again doing well to come off his line and claim the loose balls. McKinley now, second half substitute. He's not covered himself in glory with a few misplaced passes. The Thistle midfielder. Rowson now. And Rowson this time with a misplaced pass to Georgios Ephraim. Rowson though trying to come back to make up for his mistake. And David Rowson does just enough to muscle Georgios Ephraim off the ball. And Tuffy can clear it away. Aimed at Doolan, nodded on. Atkins not up there. Making his way up there now though, Lucas Atkins. But McKenzie does just enough to nod it back. Malone. Chip ball forward, and Story can put the ball low into the feet of Gary Harkins. Harkins, he'll need some trickery again to get past Malone, but in the end has to settle for a throw in. Gary Harkins on the far side. And Thistle can come forward again. It's going to be Twaddle with a strike and blocked away. Story though diving in for the header. Now McMenamin, and Archibald steps forward, clears it away, and Lucas Atkins is offside, says the referee on that far side, and play will be halted as this will make the second substitution of this second half. In fact, Lucas Atkins moving offside is going to be his last action of that second half. Scott Chaplin, the man coming on to replace him, and McCall just barking out some instructions as Scott Chaplin makes his way on, letting everyone know exactly what the new jobs will be. McMenamin couldn't win that header with Twaddle, and Malone chips it forward. Robertson, Sclaft clearance, but Rowson could help it on, and David Rowson continues his run forward, headed down into the ground, and Rowson muscled out of it, and he's found space for Gary Harkins though, looking for space. In the end, he'll go to the box, and Scott Chaplin lurking at the back post. Douglas comes off his line though well, didn't let Chaplin get in the end of it, and Douglas preserves his clean sheets, and Dundee's 1-goal advantage. Just held up in the air, the kick-up field from Douglas, but Dundee have recovered to win it. And that ball out of play isn't getting anywhere. Scott Chaplin, Sclaft strike. And Harkins stepping forward, great sliding challenge from Jim Laughlin. Got the ball off the feet of Gary Harkins there without any damage done to the Partick midfielder. Back in the squad today, Jim Laughlin. And just showing exactly what Dundee have missed in the games he's been absent. Cowan helps it on and is cleared away by Alan Archibald. McKenzie tries to head it back to Robert Douglas, and McKenzie doesn't quite catch it right, but he gets away with it. Stephen McEwen, the man running onto it, and Douglas just quick enough to get there ahead of the Thistle midfielder. McMenamin helps it on. Twaddle though will be able to get this one away. Blocked away by Shinnie. And now Courier backed up against the line by Twaddle, and Payton can knock that one down the line. And in fact, he just knocked it over the line. And it's going to be a throw in on this near side. And the referee just telling Mark Twaddle exactly where the ball drifted out. And Twaddle will now take his time before helming it on. Courier couldn't get in the end of it, and Twaddle. Now McEwen. They're back to McKinley, and McEwen's got a back off McKinley. McEwen. Back to McKinley again. They're working a 2-2 or 1-1 or something down this near side. A 1-2-3-4 between them. Shinnie just losing it in the header there to McKinley. Helped on. And now McEwen helps it on. And now Thistle will get the chance to pull it down. Rowson keeps the ball in play in this near side, and McEwen will give it back to him. Now McKinley. And ball just took a ricochet there as it went through to Doolan, but he does well to come deep to win the ball back. Now Harkins, being aware that McMenamin right behind him showed him the shoulder, didn't let him get in the end of it. And now Gary Harkins takes a plunge in midfield there from the challenge of Eric Payton. Thistle can try and poke at this Dundee defence again, but a poor cross from Mark Twaddle. Douglas scurs across to claim it, but not too much hassle for the Scotland international. Douglas looks long, but the kick upfield holds up again in the wind. And now Payton into the feet of Andrew Shinnie, and Shinnie just muscled off the ball by Twaddle. And McKinley lets the ball run all the way through and it's out of play. And Kevin McKinley, just a few mistakes since he came off the bench, Kevin McKinley. Few misplaced passes, few missed interceptions. And I'm sure Ian McCall will be letting him know exactly what he thinks of his performance so far. Mackenzie helps on. McMenamin nods it inside. Shinnie, plenty of time to pull the ball down and look for space. Now Cowan. Little low ball into Andrew Shinnie, and Shinnie might just fancy he'll run into the box there, but in the end is cleared away. And Twaddle takes a throw in from the wrong place, I think. The referee wants him to move a bit further back. And Twaddle having a word with the referee, and he might just talk himself into booking here. And the referee and his linesman just getting a bit confused there, and in the end they've managed to work out their differences between them. Twaddle, having resolved his disputes, is back playing again. And Curry's won the ball off a missed header by John Robertson. Works it out to Ephraim, running that story. Ephraim's going to go for goal. Blocked by Tuppy, and McMenamin just couldn't prosper. But he was offside anyway, called McMenamin, and it wouldn't have counted. But Georgios Ephraim testing the gloves on John Tuppy again, and Dundee come ever closer to that second goal. Gary Harkins just shown the line there by Eddie Malone. And Robertson will have to nod that one out to play, and Ian McCall warming up his third and final substitution there on the Far side, Ephraim just a bit too slow with his clearance there, fired into the chest of Gary Harkins. Harmlessly goes out for the throw-in, cleared away again, and Lachlan has time to pull it down and deflect the ball off Chris Doolan for a throw-in. And play will just stop again for the substitution. David Rowson, the man who's going to be coming off. And it's going to be Willie Kinneborough on the far side. And Willie Kinneborough will take up his place in the Thistle lineup in the second half. Payton out to Malone as crosser very much up into the air. Cleared away, and Lachlan can't get in the end of it. And McCall just does enough to knock it out of play. McMenamin spinning away from Robertson, knocking it out right to this near side for Payton. Cowan makes the overlap outside him. Payton knocks it into the box, just a bit too strong there for Michael Antoine Courier. Now Chaplin helps it on, and McEwen comes deep to work the ball out right to Twaddle. Low ball is not strong enough for Chris Doolan though, and Twaddle's ball comes right back at him, and he has to take the throw in from exactly the place that he tried to put Doolan through from. Now Archibald taking his time, and he's aimed that ball at McKinley. McKinley just spins away and just does enough to win the free kick off David Cowan. A shrug of the shoulders there from David Cowan, but referee pointing to where exactly the infringement was, and all the Thistle players leave it to each other to take. They all run away from it, but McEwen has made the run back now to take this free kick, right-footed. And they've all been left all by themselves there, and it's been put wide. And Dundee play that dangerous offside trap. It's hard attack City every time they do it, but it hasn't failed them once yet. Douglas just taking his time over the goal kick. Knocked on by Harkins, almost comes down for Doolan, and a good touch by Chris Doolan, taking it down out to the sky, and just tries to find McEwen out wide. But Malone with the sliding talons gets it out of play, and Thistle will have a throw-in opportunity. Time ticks ever on. Half an hour played in this second half. Long throw, and Harkins almost getting the end of it. McEwen muscling away, and McEwen with a strike. Goes over the bar, and Stephen McEwen. Shake of the head as he walks away. He knows that was a chance. Thistle haven't had many clear-cut opportunities in this match. Chris Dooley with a low strike in the first half. Apart from that, Robert Douglas not tested. And Dundee have the goal advantage thanks to Colin McMenamin. Twaddle headed on, and Cowan's being forced to go all the way back here. Chris Dooley going with him, and David Cowan, good play holding off Chris Dooley all the way there. David Cowan, and Dundee again rebuff any other Partick Thistle attack. Malone, low ball out wide to Georgios FM, holding off Willie Kinneborough, and going into the feet of McMenamin. Forced the wrong way there, Colin McMenamin, and he's gone all the way back to Gary McKenzie. And McKenzie's fired that one long, looking for Courier. Good block though by Alan Archibald, former United man. And Chaplin can recover the ball in midfield, but a misplaced pass has allowed FM to pick up on it, and the referee letting advantage go on. Malone. Now McHale, and it's a low ball into Antoine Courier, being forced in the corner there by John Robertson. Malone's kept it in play though. Now Shinnie. Kinneborough's there to keep him company. Now McMenamin being forced back, and McEwen can drop deep to win the ball, and Chris Dooley's offside there. And that's one of the ones that will make a manager tear his hair out every time. Can look along the line. He's got time to pick the moment to run. But Chris Dooley just getting it wrong on this occasion. Mackenzie with the long free kick. Courier just couldn't quite angle his header into Colin McMenamin. And Payton and Shinnie between them work the ball out. Now Courier. Shinnie trying to give him support, but Courier getting into a tangle with Mark Twaddle, and between them has come through to Antoine Courier, running at Archibald, and goes square, and FM just takes it off away from Colin McMenamin, and Thistle eventually get the ball away, but Thistle, almost the cause of their own downfall there, and the ball comes through to Kevin McKinley, but Mackenzie easily just lets that one away, and Twaddle and Chaplin got themselves into an awful tangle there, and Courier almost profited. And Thistle just not having it all their own way at the moment. Poor pass by McEwen to absolutely no one, and they're not on the right wavelength, these Thistle players at the moment, and the ball by McHale might just find FM on the end of it, but John Robertson comes across well to cover it, and Tuffy can knock the ball back to Alan Archibald. Malone, low header into the feet of Scott Chaplin. And Dooley just muscled off the ball there. Lachlan heads it away, and the ball might just come through here to FM. Kept in play though by Simon Story. Good play by John Robertson there, holding the ball up for Mark Twaddle to come away with it now. Now McKinley steps inside, and Gary Harkins now goes inside. Eric Payton just blocks his run there by the ref there. Eric Payton. David Summers gets unintentionally involved in the play, and Malone out of play, and McCall acts as a makeshift ball boy there, getting the ball back to his players as soon as possible. Ian McCall, and that Chaplin will take time to pick his spot from the cross. Doolan, poor first touch, the ball just spun up into the air, but McEwen's recovered it and has come back in. Now Chris Doolan might just go for the strike, but Lachlan muscled in there and didn't get Doolan any time to get a shot away. And Courier just a bit slow there. Archibald stepping up well to clear the ball away. And McKinley's let that ball run, but he might just do enough to keep it in play. And he does just do enough. And McKinley, in the end, gets the ball one off his feet by David Cowan. Now Archibald stepping up again. Twaddle now. Now Gary Harkins. He's been quiet in the second half compared to the first half, and that ball went through two Dundee players and almost came through for Stephen McEwen, but Twaddle again can pick the ball up. Thistle poking away at this Dundee defence, yet to find a crack in it so far, and the ball firing again to the box, and McKinley might just pick up in this ricochet and might let the ball go for the corner, but he's kept it in. Now Andrew Shinnie trying to give McKinley problems on the far side. Shinnie dives in there and almost wins the ball off him. Now Payton tries to go and win the ball off McKinley. McKinley's forced all the way back to the halfway line. And it's Archibald with the ball in this time. And this time it's Lachlan with the header away. And the three of them have all gone down in a heap there. Gary McKenzie and Jim Lachlan. And there's a Thistle player down as well. And the physios run onto the pitch to try and tend to them. It's Simon Story, I think, Thistle player went down, but he's walking away now. Gary McKenzie also back up on his feet. Just Jim Lachlan, the man down at the moment. But it was a clash of heads between the three of them there, and looked a nasty one, especially with all three of them down. And now the club doctor comes on from Thistle. And Jim Lachlan continues to get treatment, and he's back in the squad today. Jim Lachlan having missed the last few games, just getting led away now. Jim Lachlan, and bit of a bizarre sight. Just as Jim Loughlin was receiving treatment there, John Tuffy asking Thistle fans up in this large stand just exactly how long there was left. And Thistle fans shouted back, 10 minutes to go. And Jim Loughlin now just being led down the tunnel there, and Craig McEwen has come on to replace him. The large Dundee travelling support. 700 Dundee fans making the trip through to Glasgow today, giving them a warm round of applause. Harkins gets turned towards goal, and Harkins with a dancing feet gets it into the feet of McEwen. Now Thistle gets a chance from the throw-in and has come into McKinley, and Douglas just couldn't get down quick enough, and Kevin McKinley, having made so many mistakes in this first half, he's giving Thistle the equalising goal, and it's game on at Firhill for the last 10 minutes. Robert Douglas couldn't get down quick enough. Malone couldn't get the ball away, and McEwen drifted back to Robert Douglas, and last 10 minutes here for Hill certainly will be interesting, especially in relation to the title. Thistle now on 48 points, 3 points behind Dundee, 42 as things stand at the moment. St Johnstone lead the way on 51. And FM's got away here from Simon Story. FM goes down from the challenge there of the Thistle player, and FM wins the free kick. Willie Kinneborough, the man who was booked. And Jockey Scott seems to be having words with his players, telling them to keep calm. 10 minutes to go. But Thistle now have the momentum, and the drum up in the back of this main stand beats out again. Malone, free kick into the box. McMenamin heads it on, blocked away by Archibald, and is cleared out towards this main stand. Cowan into Payton, and now Cowan just knocks the ball off the shins of Gary Harkins for the free kick, and the referee just telling David Cowan where he wants the throw-in taken from. Now Cowan steps inside Harkins and gets away. Now Payton, referee plays advantage. Payton just shimmies along to the right, and Kevin McKinley is a reborn man since that goal, full of running. Now Gary Harkins looking for the run out wide, and the ball is going to come all the way through here to I don't know who it is. And Georgios Ephraim running over the halfway line, runs past Scott Chaplin now at Kinneborough, and Georgios Ephraim, he's still going into the feet of Colin McMenamin, and John Tuffy comes charging off the line, takes the ball off the feet of Colin McMenamin, and he can set up another attack. John Tuffy kept in play here by McKinley. The man who scored the equalising goal for Thistle, running at Payton, steps inside. McKinley still going, gets it back. Now Chaplin, and works all the way out to the far side. Story, and Story just leaves the pass a bit too short, and now Georgios Ephraim can come away with it. Ephraim, outside of the boot pass, coming through to Antoine Courier. Now running at Alan Archibald, the man who used to play for United, and the ball comes off the shins of Alan Archibald, and it's going to be a throw into Dundee right down in the corner, and that's 700 strong contingent from Dundee. Give the players some more support. Malone going over to take this throw in, and the referee just telling Eddie Malone just how long he's taking with this throw-in. It's thrown in just a bit too long for Antoine Courier, and Archibald can head it away. McEwen going over to challenge there with the other McEwen who plays for Partick Thistle. Gets the ball through to Doolan and just muscled out of it, but the ball comes back through. And now Story out to McKinley, and McKinley just takes the ball away from McMenamin. Now Harkins, and the ball just didn't quite come through to Chris Doolan there, and Dundee get the ball away. And the game becomes ever more open. 2-on-2 here for Dundee. McMenamin, Shinnie to his left, comes through to Andrew Shinnie, going through on goal, and he fires it straight at John Tuffy, and doesn't challenge the keeper in the slightest. The man who is up with the Northern Ireland squad next weekend. The Thistle fans urge their team forward, and the ball comes down to Chris Doolan, takes a strike and goal, and the ball fired over that hoarding on the behind the goal there, and Robert Douglas can just watch it go past. But this game, in the last 5 minutes here at Firhill, it's wide open. Either team can win it. That means one team has to lose it though. Payton, pulled down out the air. Eric Payton charging into the box. Eric Payton still going forward, slashes a shot wide. And in the end, John Tuffy kept it in play, and he took it behind, and he's conceded the corner. John Tuffy, in his eagerness to keep the ball in play, he's taken it over the line. Fantastic conclusion to the second v third clash in the First Division. Both teams want to keep the pressure on St Johnstone, and they'll be sitting back hoping for a draw. Shinnie with the header. Mackenzie goes in, and the header drifts wide over that far post, and Mackenzie, he's got his head in his hands. He knew that was a chance to secure the 3 points, but I'm sure there'll be more chances. Wide open, this First Division clash, and everyone's on the edge of their seats here at Firhill, and Doolan's offside there, and the play will just be halted. McEwen, low free kick, but it's going to come through to Antoine Courier, and Shinnie had just run a bit too far ahead of the ball, and now Archibald can come away with it. Knocks inside to Harkins, and McHale just held back there by Harkins, couldn't get in the end of it, and now Dundee can come and launch a counter raid. Georgios Ephraim striding forward. Georgios Ephraim might go for his goal, goes down on the edge of the box there, and the referee points to the spot where the free kick's going to be taken, and he's going to have a word with Willie Kinneborough here. He's already on a yellow card, Willie Kinneborough, but he's got away with this one, and Dundee can line up a free kick opportunity, and it's up to debate who's going to take it. Eric Payton has the ball in his hands. 2 free kick goals already this season for Eric Payton against Dunfermline and Queen of the South. 4 goals in total, and Eric Payton is placing the ball. Georgios Ephraim also there to well, he's just walking away now. Georgios Ephraim not going to take it. It's going to be Eric Payton. Thistle putting a man on the line, now moving him away. And as Eric Payton goes for the strike, just over the bar. And Eric Payton comes so close to making it a hat-trick of free kick goals this season, but it's just over the bar. McEwen heads it away. Nodded down. McEwen works it out wide to Simon Story now. Malone going over with him to try and close down the angle. Now Gary Harkins. And Thistle have space here to pick the spaces on the edge of the box. Now Twaddle. Cowan just getting the ball caught under his feet twice. And Twaddle still going forward. And I don't think he's quite kept the ball in play. And in fact, Mark Twaddle has not kept the ball in play. And Robert Douglas will have the goal kick and the ball in his hands. And just for a second, everyone in Firhill can take time to catch their breath. As we now move into stoppage time, Douglas clears the ball away. Chaplin, plenty of time to pick his header in the centre of the park. Cowan heads it back on. Now McMenamin, and Archibald just muscles Colin McMenamin off the ball. And Dundee can launch this one up from the free kick. Eric Payton wanting everyone forward for it. Gary McKenzie, he's up there. Craig McEwen opts to stay back, though it's not the best from Eric Payton. But ball comes right the way back to him and he can fire it back up towards Gary McKenzie. This time just a bit too strong for the big Dundee defender and has come all the way through. And in the end, Gary McKenzie lunges in low there. And David Summers going in to have a word with him, possibly a booking, but in the fact just ushers Gary McKenzie away, tells him to go back to his defending duties. McEwen takes it quickly, looking for Courier, who's running to the corner here. John Robertson going over to close him down, but now the Dundee army arrives. Paul McHale now squares it, comes through to Andrew Shinney, and the ball just ricochets off a couple of players. It's going behind for a goal kick. Paul McHale came so close there to the goal. He scored against Thistle earlier on in the season in the League Cup. He came so close to scoring again, but just had his shot blocked as he went through. Andrew Shinney going across to take this corner kick. And the Dundee fans start to make their way to the exits. And Shinney, with the corner kick, almost comes through from McEwen. And FM loses the ball, and now Doolan can pick the ball up. Tries to square it to Chaplin, but Chaplin just wasn't right on the right wavelength. And Shinney gets clattered there by Simon Story. And Shinney has stayed down. And Eric Payton, it's a set piece opportunity again, just to try and throw the ball into the box. McKenzie and McEwen up in the back. Eddie Malone's there as well. It's Payton throwing it in, but it's cleared away by Alan Archibald. And Shinney will have to be on his toes to recover the ball. And Shinney's done just enough to win the free kick against Gary Harkins, it is. And the referee's going to have a word with Gary Harkins. It's going to be a yellow card for dissent for the Partick Thistle midfielder. It doesn't make much difference now. Into stoppage time. 3 minutes of stoppage time we're playing here at Firhill. And referee David Summers just telling Eddie Malone to take the ball a bit closer to the touchline. And the Dundee support move down to the front of that stand behind the goal, trying to suck the ball into the net. Malone with the ball in, and it comes almost through to Gary McKenzie, but John Toffey does enough to just hang on to the ball. Fires along, looking for the sponsors man of the match, Chris Doolan, and McHale pulls him back, and McHale could be in trouble here from the referee. I think Gary McKenzie was back in support. Paul McHale was not the last man, and that was just about all to save Paul McHale. A cynical yellow card, similar to the incident that got Darren Young sent off earlier in the season. This time though, just a yellow card, and now Partick Thistle can pull everyone up forward for this free kick opportunity in the dying seconds of the match here at Firhill. Fired in by Gary Harkins, comes through McMenamin, back towards his own goal, but Douglas claims it on the line, and the diving late challenge there by Chris Dooley doesn't do anything, and it's full time at Firhill, and I think everyone will be relieved here just to get some breath, and it's a big boost for Derek McInnes and St Johnstone's titles hopes. Partick Thistle and Dundee have taken points off each other. Thistle 3 points behind St Johnstone in the title race. Dundee 9 points behind in the title race now. It's 1-1 at Firhill. Colin McMenamin gave Dundee the lead in the first half, 10 minutes before half time, taking the ball to his left foot, firing the ball low through the feet of John Toffey. Kevin McKinley got the goal in the second half, heading the ball down low. Robert Douglas just a bit too tall to keep the ball out to the back of the net. Full time at Firhill, it's 1-1, and everyone can just take a bit of a breather now.